Will throw it up. They didn't get up too high. Tip was controlled. Al Greer, Dave Bing, Rick Barry, Dolph Shays, and Johnny Kerr.
There'll be a lot of token defense on the floor.
Oh, what a pass from
Well, he was a great medium-range jump shooter, and he shows right there.
DeBusschere, Oscar. Bury the rebound.
Got to use the board during his career for the Celtics. A tremendous bank shooter.
We're just underway. McNichols Arena in Denver, Colorado. Sold out house, 17,000 plus. Dave Bing outside. And DeBusschere just right there did a good job of technique boxing out his Havlicek, the running hook. And in!
Well, Havlicek, unbelievable six-man during his career at the Celtics. You know what's interesting? He had a pro career and really was thinking of playing with the Cleveland Browns, but lost that bid to the great wide receiver, Gary Collins. Wide receiver, Gary Collins.
DeBusschere has it knocked away. Sam Jones saved it. Shays has it blocked by Nate Thurmond. And Oscar Robertson, who says, I play a little tennis. That's about all I do nowadays.
Look at a little quickness on that floor, huh? They're not going to break any Olympic records, I guarantee you that.
Nate Thurmond, he still looks good, doesn't he? The hook. An air ball. Knocked loose. As Dolph Shays and DeBusschere battling underneath.
Not too much agility right there, watching Shays and DeBusschere going at it.
They've moved it pretty good so far, Dick.
Where's the oxygen? Remember, we're 5,000 feet above sea level, and some of these guys with that altitude could have a little problem.
Johnny Kerr outside. Barry tips it. Rick Barry.
He's a competitor. I tell you, he is a terror.
And it counts. Rick Barry up and in.
Look at Arnold. Red Auerbach said, hey, nobody blocked out. DeBusschere, great defensive player. He's so much a factor. He was the glue that put the Knicks together when they won those championships in 70 and 73. This guy knows how to play only one way, Roger. 120% every time he's on the floor, plays tennis, and a great free throw shooter. 90% over a career.
Foul was on Havlicek and Rick Barry with the three-point play. There's Havlicek and Barry down on the baseline.
Barry looks like he's playing for an NBA contract. I figure some GMs are looking here.
He could probably still play. Sam Jones from outside, and we got a substitute coming in right now. It'll be Bob Pettit checking in, and Johnny Red Kerr will go sit down. There's a guy who his contemporaries say, and I'm speaking about Bob Pettit, worked as hard as anybody to become a great basketball player.
Yeah, he represented the work ethic. He really is a blue-collar guy. All of the Kelly Tribuca now with the Pistons.
Drucker makes the call on the baseline. Foul's going to be on Oscar Robertson. We're going to have a little John between the players and the officials.
Well, Oscar got a little wider with that waistline. I remember him when he came into Madison Square Garden with the University of Cincinnati, put 56 on a board against my alma mater, Seton Hall, outscored the whole team. We had 53.
Barry loses the basketball, finds Hal Greer.
Hey, got him, go! Go for the two!
Sid Borgia making the call at midcourt. Drucker's looking at the midcourt.
What impressed me was the tremendous backdoor cut. Watch the pass by Barry from the post, but look at that backdoor cut movement without the basketball. He gets crashed across the arm. Hal Greer, hey, he looks like he's ready to play some hoops.
Foul on Nate Thurmond. Of course, Hal Greer, great player for the 76ers, and take a good look at him right there. Of course, he had in 1968 19 points in one period.
Well, you know, Raj, he played on the team that was selected as the greatest team in the history of the first 35 years in the NBA. And that team was Greer, Larry Costello, front line of Chet Walker, Luke Jackson, and Wilt is still in the middle. And the sixth man was Billy Cunningham.
Good defense by Dave Bing as he takes it away. Pettit outside. Dolph Shays comes away with it.
Dolph was probably the greatest three-point player. He used to get more three-point opportunities than anyone.
Bing misses again, and Nate Thurmond the rebound.
He's still sweeping the glass. Good block out by Thurmond.
Havlicek. Here's Oscar Robertson. And handle it?
A little low with a little finger roll. Got off the ground about 2 inches. Crispus Attucks High School in Indiana. A legend.
We're tied up at 6 apiece with 16:27 left to go. We're playing 20-minute halves. Bing kept it alive to Hal Greer. We've got a shot clock in effect, but I don't think they're going to be running that shot clock down today, Dick.
Raj, I'll tell you, this is just a great idea having this. Hope it's a continuity because it's fantastic for the game. Get a
substitute coming in right now is Jerry West, number 44, and Hal Greer will sit down.
We talk about consistency as we talked on the top of the show. West defensively was just a gem. I believe he made the All-Pro defensive team, Roger, 6 consecutive years.
Foul was on Rick Barry, and Barry's looking at Trucker, says, "You're not going to call him that close, are you?" Havlicek. John told me there'll be a lot of 3-point opportunities taken from outside that circle. That's a 2-point shot.
You know, it was interesting there. Barry really fighting over a screen, getting his hand up, and really pressuring Havlicek. He says, "Hondo, I'm not going to let you be the star today. I'm the star of stars."
Tied up at 6 apiece. Dave Bing looking inside to Pettit. Dolph Shays misses it, but there was a good example of what you mentioned. He did a super job when he played. 16 years of drawing the foul, getting the 3-point play.
And he was a tremendous free throw shooter, 80-some% for his career.
Sam Jones misses, and Jerry West with the rebound. Now they got a break opportunity with Dave Bing to push her back. Bing loses it.
2 former Pistons. You know, DeBusschere was the youngest coach in the league. There he is, number 22. 24 years old, and he was named the coach of the Detroit Pistons.
We're going to have a timeout. 15-12 left to go. First half, the East and the West tied up at 6 apiece in the first NBA Old Timers game. Back at McNichols Arena, tied at 6. Greg Gumbel's over in the West Huddle, and he's got Big Red Curve.
All right, thank you very much, Roger, and I'm here with the Big Redhead. We're from Chicago. I don't know if this altitude is getting to you or not.
Well, I don't know. The pace is terrific out there. I never realized these guys were so quick. We've had a ball, and we tried a little sneak play on him right away with Bing throwing the ball into me. Greer went back door. I tried to get him between the legs, but I don't know. The timing wasn't there.
You were the first guy to call for a substitute, the first guy over here to the oxygen tent.
I'm trying to keep the game flowing at a very quick pace, and I'll tell you, we want to see all the guys get in because we all have a chance to get our letters.
All right. Thank you, Johnny Kerr of the West. Let's go back to Roger.
Thank you very much, Greg. Of course, Johnny Kerr, an analyst for the Chicago Bulls television network and an insurance and investment advisor. We've got some new players in the game. Pistol Pete Maravich, Bill Sharman, Tommy Heinsohn, and Zelmo Beatty have come in. The shot by Oscar, no good, tipped around. Lou Hudson's in there right now, and he comes down with it to Dave Bing. Lou Hudson, he shoots it. He misses. Barry's underneath, gets it back and in.
Well, Barry inside position, a little left-handed hook on a baseline.
Here's Pistol Pete. Won't go and bury the rebound. Rick Barry's got 5 points. He's got 3 rebounds to Lou Hudson on the baseline, and Maravich steals it. He's got Big O open down court. And the easy 2.
You know, you look at Pete Maravich, he's 35 years of age. He said to Lanier last night, he says, "Hey, Bob, you're playing during the season. We both came in at the same class, and I'm playing in the Old Timers game."
Barry missed from outside. Robertson will bring the East down to Pistol Pete. Pete, of course, finished his career with the Boston Celtics. Tommy Heinsohn.
He's a gunner. Tommy, every time he touches, it's going to shoot it.
Barry, another rebound. Tied at 8. Just over 14 minutes left to go. 2 20-minute halves. Lou Hudson will step back.
Sweet Lou has never thrown an assist. You know, as soon as he touches it, it's going up to the rim.
Here's Maravich.
Pistol Pete was the first guy really to start what we call the Maravich drills, all the ball handling skills. Unfortunately, he never played with a great team during the prime of his career.
Maravich coming back door and in.
They ran a back screen, tremendous back screen by Zelmo Beatty. Maravich runs the back screen, lays it down. Floppy hair, floppy. He always wear the same socks all the time,
well, those are in the Hall of Fame now. Dick McGuire has checked into the game, 57 years of age, number 15 right there.
He said, "Please don't tell him I'm Al McGuire's brother. I don't want to take responsibility for that."
Jerry West from outside.
Jerry still can shoot the rock from Cabin Creek, West Virginia. Who could ever forget some of his great playoff basketball against the Knicks? Remember that one shot to tie it and set it in overtime?
Who can forget it? Heinsohn, three-point land.
Heinsohn's next pass will be his first assist, Roger.
That's right. Tommy said Hudson and I made a deal. We're going to play 25 feet away from the basket and just look at each other. Jerry West hits. I was in Los Angeles with you, Dick, a couple weeks ago, and they said that West had been sneaking down to the gym and taking care of that shot.
Hey, once a shooter, always a shooter, says Jerry.
There's Earl, the Pearl Monroe.
He's the first guy to start the spin move, the high dribble. Played for a great coach in college, Coach Gaines.
And big Wes Unseld, who added 25 pounds since his playing day, and he says, hey, I'll just set a better pick with that.
Change direction, Pistol.
Hits Pete Maravich.
Pistol said, get me ready for an NBA contract. I still can do it.
Look at this matchup. Earl Monroe, Pete Maravich. The Pearl misses an Unseld, the best passing center when he played in the NBA. Bill Sharman. Sharman said, I hope Red calls play number 3. Zelmo Beatty misses. Monroe, Jerry West.
I remember when Monroe hooked up with Clyde Frazier. Everyone said there's no way they'll play together. But great players adjust to one another. And, of course, they had that great team there under Red Holzman.
Steal by West, knocked out of bounds. Well, he came from Baltimore in a rather controversial trade, you're right. As checking into the game right now is a guy by the name of Connie Hawkins, a legendary schoolboy basketball player, and never really got to play in his prime in the NBA.
Well, Roger, I remember his hookups in high school against Roger Brown from Wingate High School when Connie played for Boys High School. They packed Madison Square Garden. 2 absolute supers.
Wes Unseld misses, and Connie Hawkins the rebound.
Great hands the Hawk has. He has those big paws.
He was the prototype. They said that Dr. J learned a lot from watching Connie Hawkins. Barry finds Lou Hudson, and the foul is going to be on Pete Maravich.
Well, Pete doesn't play too much defense. He never did in his career. Pistol doesn't guard too many people. Look at him with his head down. 44 points a game career-wise at LSU. There we take a look at Barry. Always had great vision. That's one of the parts of his game, Roger, he never really got the recognition for. We know Barry was a competitor and a scorer, but he always had that great vision and was a tremendous interior passer.
Lou Hudson with a point. 13-12. West leads the East as Bill Sharman comes down for the East squad. He's going to look for that set shot. It wasn't there. Wes Unseld from 20. And Rick Berry the rebound.
Sharman was really looking for the Cousy. He says, I need the Cousy to get me the ball. My magic man, Bob Cousy.
And Norm Drucker with a traveling violation against Jerry West. And Red Auerbach,
Red, smile, Red.
He said that was great defense on the part of my East squad.
Where's the cigar, Red? You going to light up? Come on, give us the cigar.
I'll tell you, Red loves the show. You know, before the game, both teams were in the same locker room, and Red said, I'll have none of this. How am I going to do strategy at halftime? As West takes it away from Dick McGuire. And 2.
Little finger roll. We take a look at Alex Hannum. Alex went to see his hairstylist to get ready for this game. And there's Shays with the oxygen already.
West has 6 points. Unseld, look at the offensive board and in. Big Wes Unseld.
Well, he was responsible for the Fat Ladies singing in 1978 for Dick Motta, along with Elvin Hayes, Bobby Dandridge, and that great Washington team in a series against Seattle.
The West with a 15-14 lead. Just over 10 minutes left to go first half. Jerry West, he's a pretty good golfer out in Southern California. He misses that one, and Pete Maravich comes down with it. The pistol, look at him in the middle. Those loping strides, the pull-up on top. Missed that one. Connie Hawkins, look out.
And he scored. Connie said, bring on the big boys. Get the Dr. J out here. Get all the great ones, because I can hang with all of them. Then we take a look at the doc. Connie Hawkins, the doc of his time. There he goes. Lays it up on the glass, scoring.
Foul on Wes Unseld. West leads at 17-14. Just over 10 minutes to go first half. We'll be back to Denver, Colorado. 17-14. West leads the East. Let's go now to John Andres and Dave DeBusschere in the West huddle.
Dave, I know you did some preparing for this game. How do you feel?
You know, it's funny. I feel all right, actually. The thing that's hard for me to get used to, just even warming up, I felt like I got tired. The altitude. You're a mile high.
That's right. Dave, do you think any of the guys are really serious about the game?
Well, I think they are. Yeah. You joke around a lot, but everybody has a lot of personal pride, and they sure want to win.
There's a lot of signs of talent though coming out. That was a nice move by the Hawk, right?
Oh yeah. Well, he's one of the younger guys, so he and Pistol Pete ought to be able to run all night.
Okay, Dave. We'll look forward to seeing you more in the second half. Now let's go back to Roger and Dick.
Okay, thank you very much, John. Nice to hear those guys in the huddle. DeBusschere, he wasn't even winded over.
Well, you know, you think UB Brown would like to have a DeBusschere in his lineup, the way he goes out and checks people and block out. You talk about DeBusschere, he was an absolute winner. You know, he came from the school I coached, the University of Detroit.
That's right. Rick Berry with 5 points and 5 rebounds. And there's a look at Connie Hawkins as he'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Connie Hawkins started out at the University of Iowa and went through some troubled times, didn't he, Dick?
Yes, he did. You know, he was involved at that time, was accused actually of being involved in a point fixing scandal, but they really finally they proved that he was not involved, and everything worked out well for him, and I'm glad he finally got his chance to play in the NBA to demonstrate his tremendous talent.
Misses the free throw. Free throw shooting hasn't been too good so far in this game as McGuire brings it for the East. It's McGuire, Sharman, Nate Thurmond, John Havlicek, and Pete Maravich. Here comes Pistol.
He loves coming off that little handoff off the screen. He did that throughout his career at LSU.
Nate Thurmond, the sweeping hook, misses, and Connie Hawkins the rebound. Hal Greer, Lou Hudson, Bob Pettit, and Earl the Pearl Monroe. Havlicek knocked it away. Hudson got it back. Connie, the baseline, and in.
He's so graceful. He's got those great hands. Look at the way he stride. They used to talk about him in Brooklyn like you couldn't believe.
Pistol, Pete Maravich.
Pistol, every time he touches it, he is finding range. He looks up in the crowd. He said, I wonder if a GM is looking at me.
I tell you, he's only 35 years old, and he is 3 for 5 from the floor, 6 points. Played with Atlanta, the Jazz of New Orleans, and Utah, then Boston. The perimeter movement right now by the West team. Monroe hits.
Hal Greer's got that great medium range jumper. He's got that sweet touch. Played at Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia.
21-16. Havlicek broke loose. John races to the corner. Still alive.
Tremendous hustle. A trademark throughout his career.
Bill Sharman misses, and Lou Hudson comes away with it. Well, John Havlicek, he epitomized, I think, the Boston Celtics. He said, hey, it took 10 years for Red to start me. He said he started me today, though, as Hal Greer nails it. And did you see Hal shake the fist after he knocked that down?
Yeah, a little enthusiasm, excitement. You can see he's been working out in the backyard.
Oh, Greer strips it away from Pete.
Hal's hungry. I could see the look on his eye. He wants it. Take that baby to the basket. Now he figures I better pass the ball a little bit now. I can't shoot the next one.
23-16, biggest lead of the game for either team. The West on top, and Sharman will get it to Maravich.
One thing for sure, if you're a front court player, you're in trouble. You're not going to get too many shots.
Fouls on Hal Greer as Havlicek took it inside. Checking into the game now, Sam Jones and Oscar Robertson. The man that Dick called the best player in the history of the game.
Roger, I tell you, I used to just be thrilled to get an opportunity to watch him play, whether it be on TV or in person. As you look at John Havlicek on the line. You know, Havlicek was a member of those great Ohio State teams with Jerry Lucas when Jerry Lucas was in the limelight in the early 60s. And one of their teammates, as we look at DeBusschere coming on the floor, was a fiery leader on the sideline for Indiana by the name of Bobby Knight.
Some great Ohio State teams, with John Havlicek and Lucas.
Well,
Larry Siegfried was back there. As Hal Greer showing some great form. There's Bob Pettit on top. He's a banker in New Orleans now.
I think it was just a thrill for these guys to get in a bus and drive over here today and put the uniform on again. People asking them for autographs, and those memories come back.
I think this is one of the greatest things the NBA has done. Havlicek inside is able to retain possession. Hondo, Oscar Robertson, Sam Jones from the side hits. He has done that a number of times throughout his career. He was a great tennis player too, Dick. He was a #1 singles player at North Carolina Central as Dolph Shays checks back into the game. And it seems like basketball players and tennis players, they kind of go hand in hand.
Well, very agile, you know, a lot of agility. You know, he tried to con me into a tennis match with him. I'm lucky I didn't go on a court with him because I know he would have cleaned me right out.
Bob Pettit with a frozen rope from outside.
You talk about a guy, they say he couldn't run, he couldn't jump, but all he could do is shoot that J, rebound, play defense, and give you 100% every night.
25-19, West with a 6-point lead and 7:13 to go first half. Looking to Nate Thurmond.
Look at him splitting off the post.
Oh, what a pass to Robertson underneath, and it's knocked loose. And it's going to be East basketball underneath as you take a look at Connie Hawkins, number 42.
You know, Raj, they still haven't forgotten how to run that triangle off the post split action. It might be a little slower now and don't have the movement it once had.
DeBusschere outside.
Hey, Dave's throwing up a brick right there. Go out there and play some D, number 22. Forget about the jump shot.
Al Greer will move it up. There's DeBusschere and Dolph Shays. Oh, look at him move with the ball, the passes. Earl to Earl.
Great rhythm on his dribble. Boy, Pettit really going to the net.
Hit the deck that time. Here comes Sam Jones. Got 3-on-2. DeBusschere's in the middle. Havlicek on the side and in.
Great three-man fast break. Look at Dave DeBusschere. Nice pass, David.
You believe the Knicks and the Celtics playing together with one another? Those guys went through some wars.
They had some battles during their time.
West leads at 25-21, 6-12. Earl to Pearl to scoop. Nate Thurmond. He reminds me of Granville Waiters of the Indiana Pacers, doesn't he?
He looks a little younger than Granville. You said that, not me. Granville, I'm sorry.
Sit down.
Drucker calls the foul on Dolph Shays outside. As you take a look at Sam Jones.
There's Sam, the Boston Celtic fame. Look, he wants to shake and go. And there's the pass into Nick. Mr. DeBusschere, bounce pass to another Celtic, Hondo Havlicek. You talk about running the lane of a break. Havlicek ran it as well as anyone, using the 45-degree angle cuts.
Oscar Robertson inside to DeBusschere, the hook. Oscar keeps it alive, back to Dave. Can't get it.
Dave said, no more for me shooting that basket. I want to play me some D.
Greer to Earl Monroe, the little 10-footer. Oh, too wide open that time for the Pearl. West leads at 25-21 with 5:20 left to go first half, and we've got a timeout on the floor.
Still 3 out of 4 in the first half. Not bad.
Tough, huh?
You're the kid out here today, though. Do you feel like you're taking advantage of these older guys?
I don't think so. I think they're taking advantage of me, really.
You look like you're ready to play.
I went up for a jump shot, and Hal Greer just grabbed my right knee. The old trick from the 60s, you know. But no, I think it's great, John, and I think that the fans are real pleased with the way everybody's performing. You know, the skills are not there like they used to be, but I think the importance is that the people can identify with these great guys, and I think it's come across real good.
Well said, Pete Maravich. Let's get back now to Roger and Dick.
Thank you very much, John. You know, both these teams now shooting 30% as Johnny Kerr took his glasses off, and Heinsohn's giving him a hard time, but Kerr sinks the second one.
Well, Kerr has a little touch. You know, we took a look at Maravich. He came in a time in 1970. What a class. Dave Cowens, Calvin Murphy, Bob Lanier, Jeff Petrie.
Heinsohn the hook shot, and nothing but air on that one.
Co-rookies of the year of that class were Petrie and also Dave Cowens.
Earl Monroe, Jerry West, Connie Hawkins, Johnny Red Kerr, and Rick Berry. For the West got between the legs into Jerry West for 2.
Well, West shows he can still move without the basketball. They set that up in their timeout. Naturally, there wasn't any defense.
Jerry West with 8 points. This shot, Zelmo Beatty, offensive board. Knocked away by Rick Berry. Here comes West, Earl Monroe.
Earl was great at that. He used to excite the Garden crowd. The Garden crowd used to go nuts when Earl would get out in transition. Watch this pass by Johnny Kerr. Naturally, Heinsohn's not going to guard him. He's going to let him go up to the post, catch the ball with no problem, drop it between his legs.
And he set the pick.
And he sets a nice pass into West. They're hustling out in a break. Look at Heinsohn getting back defensively, but Earl uses the basket as a weapon. Shields the defensive player, lays it up on a glass and scores.
Third foul on Tommy Heinsohn, and Earl Monroe completes that 3-point play. So Tom Heinsohn's going to sit down. Hey, he did some tough work.
Tommy. Come on now, get some
Mile High City.
This way.
Earl Monroe's got 6 points right now, and it's 45-38 as the West has jumped out to a 7-point lead. That's been their biggest lead in this game. Connie Hawkins misses. Dolph Shays in there keeps it alive. Monroe.
I want to see Monroe one time take that dribble and spin and whirl to the goal with it.
There's the Pearl. He used to dribble the ball so high, Dick, almost shoulder high.
He's from the high school ranks out in Philadelphia. Just a magic man with the basketball as the Big O comes back on the floor.
Dick McGuire will check out. The West has scored 8 straight points now. They're making a run with 9:48 left to go in this game.
Red's getting really nervous. He wants this W.
Earl Monroe from outside. Give Monroe now a total of 8 points, and it's 47-38. Biggest lead of the game for either team. DeBusschere finally hits one.
DeBusschere gets in the book for the field goal.
1 of 8 for Dave DeBusschere from the field, and it's 47-40.
I told you you weren't supposed to say that, Roger. You're not supposed to hurt him 1 for 8. Now, we promised him we would give his stats.
Barry misses, and Wes Unseld has it. There's Oscar Robertson. 3-on-2.
Make the pass,
Sam
Big
Jones
O.
and DeBusschere on the wings. Oscar and Rick Barry collide, and they're going to call a jump ball, and Barry can't believe it. Rick's about 25 pounds lighter now than he was when he played in the NBA, his final year with the Houston Rockets.
Well, they tell me he really works out constantly. He does many, many things. He also really watches his diet. Plays a lot of tennis, really plays a lot of tennis.
Big O didn't contest it, and Barry tipped it right to Sam Jones. There's Oscar. University of Cincinnati. Taking the baseline, and he draws the foul.
Who got who? I got Z.
8:50 left to go in this game. West leads it by 7, 47-40. Red Auerbach sitting on the edge of his seat right now. It's DeBusschere. Misses. Tipped around, and Selmo Beatty gets it.
I think Red's going to call a shooting practice tomorrow.
Oscar Robertson inside between West and Barry.
I'm going to have to second-guess Red. He's got to get Maravich on the floor if he wants a W here. Come on, Red. Get my man Pistol Pete on the floor.
The Big O has 8 points, and it's 47-42. West with the lead. Look at Dolph Shays, the left hand. And he draws the foul.
Number 41, 2.
Fouls on Wes Unseld. And Lou Hudson checks back into the game right now. And Rick Barry will sit down.
Well, I know Red's happy to see Barry sitting down, but you better believe Barry's going to be down in the crunch time back on the floor.
Dolph Shays played a long time in the NBA. Look at Kerr. He's having a great time.
Well, he's cheering for one of his old buddies and old teammates.
Shays makes one of the two.
You talk about an oddity. Shays was the coach of that great Philadelphia team that won a division and got fired. I believe it was 66 right after winning the title by Irv Oswald.
Jones made a great pass to Unseld. He couldn't put it away. Jerry West down to Connie Hawkins. Lou Hudson to pull up. Pop hits. Sweet Lou Hudson now. He's come alive. He's got 9 points in the second half.
Well, he was out here real early working on that jumper. I mean, he's serious about this.
Hudson's hit his last 4 shots, and it's 50-42. The West with an 8-point lead. Look at, they're talking on defense. Triple team now on Selmo Beatty. And Drucker's going to call the foul.
Selmo said, I can't believe this. I got teammates like Oscar. I got all these great scorers. This Havlicek comes in, and they're triple teaming me. He said, what are they triple teaming me for?
Foul was on Connie Hawkins. He has 3. And Hal Greer checks into the game. And Jerry West. Boy, Hal's in great shape, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks really in tremendous condition. You know, I think Maravich was going to call a press conference to complain about his PT playing time tomorrow and challenge Auerbach.
Oscar in the lane. Beautiful shot. What beautiful release that he has.
Memories. That's exactly memory time when you watch the Big O take that jumper.
That was a Spurs spin move by the Pearl. Draws the foul, won't go, and the foul's on Oscar Robertson. And Big O is really letting Borgia have it.
Got the number 1. He's going for 2.
Look at Pearl with the long arms. Great control of the basketball. The basketball is like an extension of his hand. It's like a yo-yo. Look at O talking to the official Drucker.
3rd foul on Oscar Robertson as Earl Monroe will go to the line to shoot 2. Earl with 5 points in the second half. He's got 8 on the day. What a great playoff player he was.
He was a tremendous clutch player. But you talk about clutch players. What about when Oscar hooked up in Milwaukee with Kareem? I believe it was Kareem's 2nd year in the league and they won the title. Larry Costello was on the sideline as the coach at that time.
Difference is from the foul line in this game. The West 16 of 23, the East just 6 of 8. Old timers shooting the free throws very well, but the West with the advantage as they lead it by 8, 52-44. Maravich coming off the pick, and he is grabbed over on the side. Dolph Shays commits the foul. You know, Pete used to go to Dolph's camp when he was a kid. He says, hey, Dolph, you didn't even give us Kool-Aid when we went up there. You just made us drink water all the time.
You know, the first time I took a look at Pete Maravich, he was at Milt Kuchner's basketball camp with his father. He was a young high school kid, and he was doing a series of ball handling drills. Roger, I could not believe the things he did with a ball.
Nate Thurmond in. Big Nate Thurmond. That is just his second hoop. He's got 4 points.
I think the Cavaliers can use him in the middle right now. I think Tom Nasalki ought to make a phone call and say, come on now, Nate, we need some help in that paint.
There's Bob Pettit. He checks back in the game. And Thurman's got 10 rebounds. A couple of block shots. The Pearl outside. And Earl Monroe is lighting it up now. Give Earl 9 points. So it's been Lou Hudson and Earl Monroe as the West out to an 8-point lead, 54-46. And he's hit his last 3 shots.
And Pearl looked over at DeBusschere and said, hey, Dave, you're the GM. Get a contract. I can help you be Brown in the Knicks.
Havlicek misses and Pettit gets the rebound.
Look at Pettit with the positioning.
Been a good game, too.
Yeah, really. It's a lot of fun, and they're playing a little harder than I thought. They're going up and down the floor with some real pride here. Certain matchups.
Dolph Shays is thinking about it from three-point land. You know, his son Danny plays for the Nuggets, and he said, Dan's going to be out of the stands giving me some hard times if I don't play well, as Oscar Robertson comes down the long pass to Havlicek and in.
Hondo really made it a career getting out in transition, getting up the floor. He had a great ability to recognize on a missed shot. But you could do that when you had a guy like Bill Russell sweeping the glass. You could leave a little early.
Hudson and Havlicek. Good move by Lou Hudson. The spin, the hook. He hits it. Lou Hudson now. He has just burned it up. He's got 11 in the second half, and the West leads at 56-48.
Well, Lou gets in the triple threat position, fakes it, drives with it. Didn't have the quickness to take it all the way to the goal.
Pistol Pete Maravich, that fadeaway jump shot.
Look at Pistol Pete. I tell you, he wants that ball.
The floppy socks, the floppy hair, the floppy body. Lou Hudson has just really had a great second half.
Well, he catches the ball. He's in triple threat position. He looks at Havlicek. He goes down the baseline. He knows he can't beat him, so he spins back and shoots the little hook shot from the baseline.
A lost art, that hook shot, Dick.
Yeah, not used by too many of today's modern-day athletes, because today's athlete wants to play up in the sky with the great jumping ability. Look at Alex smiling.
Timeout on the floor. West leads at 56-50.
There was no hesitation, but I got a kick out of Hannum talking about a two-man basketball play. But you know what he said? Does he want to win? He said, down the stretch, I want Barry and Earl and Hudson ready for the stretch drive.
56-50. West leads the East with 5:16. Maravich hits from outside. Pistol Pete Maravich now with 12 points.
He's getting the rhythm, Roger, as all good shooters must have. And once he gets that rhythm, he gets that flow, he's like automatic.
Al Greer blocked by Thurmond. That's his third rejection, and Greer gets it back. Lou Hudson with 12. He's hit his last 5. Look for Hudson or Earl the Pearl, who also has 12 points, who's hit his last 3.
But Havlicek's pride came right up on Lou and said, Lou, I'm not going to let you shoot this one.
Pettit, and the shot clock expired.
Drucker said count it.
Drucker said count it.
But they executed.
And look at Red Auerbach up off the bench, and he is burning.
He has every right to burn. Drucker, you blew that one, Drucker. I'm going to call Darryl Garrettson up about that call. I don't blame you, Red. I don't blame you.
Monroe spins inside the dish. Doesn't go. West 58, East 52.
Look at the two-man play they talked about. There's the screen. He lays the rear screen, the little bounce pad. Two-man basketball, lays it on the glass, executed just like the coach called in the timeout.
Johnny Kerr called that play. And you know, there are a lot of coaches in that huddle over there. Johnny Kerr was a head coach. Elgin Baylor was a head coach. Jerry West was a coach.
Hey, Roger, you really know how to hurt a guy. Hannum is trying to get credit to look like a genius, and you're going to give it to Kerr right there having a good time.
Kerr said, I called that play. Those guys are losing.
Yeah, they're losing. They're saying, hey, we need some help.
Earl Monroe, what a second half he's had.
This is when Oscar was absolutely unstoppable down the stretch.
Oscar inside, draws the foul on his way up. West leads it by 8, 60-42. And Connie Hawkins will check into the game for the West.
You know an analysis I like to use about Oscar and Jerry when you're asked about him? Jerry West can get a shot off when he played any time he wanted. Oscar could get it any time he wanted, Roger, except he can get it 5 feet closer if he wanted to do that, too.
Right, I know.
There's Jerry West. Oscar Robertson, great praise for him.
He followed a legend, Hot Rod Hundley, down at West Virginia University, and he came down there and made him forget all about Hot Rod.
Oscar misses the free throw. Talk about his release, Dick.
Well, you talk about his great follow-through. He has tremendous concentration, fingertip control. He places it in one hand. You know, it's tough now to really evaluate his shot. The form is still the same, but as Pete was saying earlier, certainly the skills have depreciated.
Closing in on the 4-minute mark, the West with a 60-53 lead, and Havlicek comes up with a steal.
Oh, look at that show!
3-on-1, Maravich on the wing, and in.
Standing O for that, baby. John Hondo, Havlicek, we love it.
Maravich with 14 points. And pistol, the foul on Lou Hudson. John Havlicek stole the ball, as Johnny Most would say.
Well, there he goes. Look at Hondo. Good denial defense, number 17. And now he's determined to get that hoop. He's determined to get that basketball. Look at him handling it. His head is down. He's falling to the ground. But one thing, he's going to deliver it. And there's Pistol going in for the layup to convert it and complete it. Great play, number 17.
60-55, and a whistle out top by Norm Drucker. Nate Thurmond. Oh, Robertson. We're going to cut that one out. Fourth foul on the Big O.
Big O wants a win. That's the only thing he ever did in his life in terms of played the game to win. He's hooking, he's holding Hudson.
He's matching up with Lou Hudson.
Move the ball!
Al Greer looking inside.
Well, he got Barry back in at the end. He knew he was going to be on the floor.
Barry won't go, draws the foul.
Hey, Roger, certain players used to run like you can't believe from the basketball down the stretch. This guy would seek out the ball. So wherever it is, and it is stretch time, I want to earn the kind of pesos that Franklin Muley was paying me, and I'm going to go out there and give the fans an honest effort. So one thing you can say about Barry, he played hard every night.
All right, 2 shots.
Dave Bing is checked back into the game. 60-55, West with a 5-point lead, and that is just something remarkable. Calvin Murphy and Rick Barry, the two best free throw shooters maybe all time, and Sharman was a great one too.
And Shays was right up there also.
Barry missed one.
That's a shot.
An oddity, huh?
That's a scoop. You got a scoop on that, Rod.
He had hit 6 in a row until that miss. He's got 10 points. Maravich way outside. Over the top, won't go, in the West with a 61-55 lead, and close it down to the 3-minute mark. Red Auerbach on the edge of his seat. Alex Hannum standing up.
Yeah, there's some intense electricity between those two, Hannum and...
Well, it's just nice to be here, seeing these guys. Dave Bing in and out, and Nate Thurmond comes up with it.
There's Hannum sitting down right now. He wants this W. You know, once a competitor, always a competitor.
Maravich, 15 feet, hits Pete Maravich. He is now knocked down 5 jumpers. He has 16 points. He's hit 8 of 13. And Dick, I called the Boston Celtic game one night when Maravich came off the bench against the Bullets and knocked down 10 jumpers in a row to bring the Celtics from 14 down to a victory.
That place must have been rocking.
Barry on top, pass, Hal Greer wide open, hits it. Hal Greer from outside.
Every time they make a little run, they get a big basket, and here's a big one by Greer.
63-57, 2:10 left to go in this game. Oscar. Oh, the cream rises to the top.
Now do you see the shooting improve? That's why that man is the greatest ever to play the game inch for inch. Down the stretch, he was unreal.
12 points for the Big O. He has hit his last 3, and it's 63-59. Less than 2 minutes to go. Connie Hawkins. Oh, look at that. And grab from behind. Foul's going to be on Sam Jones. And Connie Hawkins just showed you his ability to hold the basketball, some of the things he can do with it.
He's got the great, as we talked earlier, tremendous hands. What a confrontation in high school. I used to write about Roger Brown and Connie Hawkins like they were superstars in the NBA while they played on the high school ranks. Look at Oscar.
Barry took it inside. Foul was going to be on Havlicek.
2 young kids have a chance to catch him, Roger, to become in his class. And I'm talking Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas. If they can continually improve and grow, I really believe that both of them could get into his class when their 14 or 15-year careers are over.
Well, you told me that Larry Bird does a lot of things that Oscar does.
Oh, Larry's one of the premier forwards. The only difference, he plays up front. Oscar plays in the back. A rebound, pass, shoot.
Connie Hawkins missed it. It was pretty. It didn't go. 63-59. West with the lead.
Maravich. Speed.
And the foul on Earl Monroe.
I tell you, he turned on the afterburners, the pistol.
There's a little black magic, a little white magic right there. Foul's going to be on Earl Monroe.
They say that Earl over in the Baker League in Philadelphia used to put his show on. Look at Barry. Look at that pass. Tremendous pass inside by Barry. There's the Hawk taking it to the goal.
Pistol Pete Maravich, his father Press, of course, coached him at LSU. He's got a great deal of respect for his father. He thinks his father is the best basketball coach.
Well, I don't blame him.
That ever coached the game.
You talk about a tough act, trying to coach your son, but he made it a little bit easier because no one can certainly accuse Press of playing his son. No. His son deserved the play.
We've got a 2-point ball game, and the White wants a timeout. So Alex Hannum and his West squad with 1:16 left to go. They lead Red Auerbach in the East 63-61.
Where I can talk to you.
Pete Maravich with 18 points to lead all
right.
scorers as Alex Hannum wants to check out how his team's doing.
Maravich, right? Right.
Entertaining the folks here during the timeouts. When you coached against Maravich in the pros, what did you do to stop him?
Well, we were trying to trap him basically to get the ball out of his hands because once he had the basketball, he was devastating. So you try to trap him and then maybe deny him real heavy not to get the ball back. Fortunately, as I said earlier, Roger, he didn't play with a cast that could really, really hurt you.
Earl Monroe will bring it up for the West squad. Maravich matched up. Bing tried to set the pick.
Not a bad backcourt right there, watching Bing and Monroe work out together. You know who Bing's roommate was in college and played with him? Jimmy Beha.
Berry blocked by Nate Thurmond. And Thurmond is really going after Norm Drucker.
I mean, Thurmond wanted that block. I mean, he is serious. Drucker's going to put him on a line for 2. Here comes Thurmond. Tom the Sulky, you better make a call. Look at this block. Here comes Nate. I mean, he's up there. I mean, Nate could go help the Cavaliers right now for 8, 9, 10 minutes at a time.
Frank Layden was telling me, he was down the road from us, he says, I think a lot of these guys retired too early. I think they should have swallowed their pride a little bit and been role players, play that 8 or 10 minutes a game. They could still be playing.
Yeah, Roger, when you're a superstar, though, you don't want to go out there for 8 or 9 or 10 and maybe embarrass yourself a little, and I can't believe any of these guys would embarrass themselves.
Berry has 11 points. He's got 10 rebounds and making 12 points now. And it's 65-61 West with a 4-point lead and less than a minute to go.
Not the guy you'd want to foul in a 2-point game down the stretch.
Pistol Pete Maravich misses that one. And Havlicek, look at Nate Thurmond go to the board. Sam Jones open on top. Hits!
Little pressure defense right now. Let's get right up on him. The crowd, with the crowd in it, 46 seconds and counting.
65-63. West leads it by 2, down to 40.
Remember, they'll get the ball back, Roger, if they...
Look at the wingspan on the Hawk.
Look at the Hawk. He wants to go right at Thurmond.
Havlicek guarding Berry.
And Havlicek playing him tough.
Borgia.
Sid Borgia called a walk. I mean, he's screaming and yelling. Look at the intensity on Barry's face. There's the Hawk with the ball. Look at Barry moving without the basket. Look at Havlicek denying him. I mean, what a sequence that was. They called Barry for the walk. I didn't see the walk, Roger.
And Red Auerbach wants a timeout to set up. 30 seconds left in the game, the full 24. If we go to a tie, if it ends in a tie, we go to sudden victory.
You know who? He's my most valuable player right now. 12 rebounds,
3 block shots. Nate Thurmond with 4 points, and here we go. Havlicek. The big O in the lane. He got Hawkins in the air. Misses it. Oscar rebounds, and Borgia blowing the whistle.
No. 1 only. It's right here.
5 here. Look at him. He said 5. The clock was running down. Auerbach says, come on, Sid.
Right here.
Fouls on Rick Berry.
Hey, no. Right here. What do you think? No, that's the old rules.
That's the old rule.
That's the old rule.
4th foul on Rick Berry. 21 seconds left to go. Sam Jones takes it immediately. Misses. Nate Thurmond the rebound. Jones loses it out of bounds. 15 seconds to go. The West leads by 2.
As soon as they put it in bounds, Red, get a foul. Have somebody foul, but don't foul Barry. Don't foul Barry.
Havlicek pushes Berry out of bounds, and they say, we'll go the other way. Berry's going, that's a foul.
Barry said, he's killing me. He's mugging me. He's mugging me. Give me a break. Look at Barry. Cry, Rick. Give us the cry. Come on, Rick. You'll join Kelly Tripucka. You'll join Freddie Brown.
10 seconds, and Earl Monroe is going to be fouled by Pete Maravich.
I love teasing about guys that cry. Certainly I have such great respect for Kelly and Freddie Brown. But the officials have never missed a call with Rick Barry and Fred Brown and Kelly Tripucka, even Magic a little bit.
We got a 2-point ball game, 65-63.
Boy, Hannum is so smart. He said, get the ball toward Barry because he knows if they're going to foul him, we got the win. He's going to the line. I guess you don't shoot it except 2-shot foul.
Just for the shooting. So they can run it down. 7, 6. Thurmond fouls Connie Hawkins.
They got their own set of rules here today. Look at the Hawk with that wingspan.
I'll tell you, it's a pleasure for me to see Connie Hawkins because as a kid growing up, I just heard so much about him. I never got to see him that much. Hal Greer, as the clock runs down to 2, and another whistle. Well, this is too bad, really. You know, we got a 2-point ball game here, and
Roger, I hope they continue this every year. It's just such a great thing.
Look at that. That's it. The West beats the East. The final score is 65-63, and a well-played basketball game.
Just a tremendous public relations fact. And there's Red with the loss. Red's not too happy. We didn't see the cigar. And there's Alex Hannum. He finally gets a win over the Redhead. The guys gave a good effort here. And as I was telling you earlier, I hope for continuity because it's so great to have these guys part of the NBA yet.
There's Alex Hannum, the head coach of the winning West squad. Final score is 65-63, and we'll continue with more of the NBA Old Timers game from McNichols Arena after this.